You know how proud I am of you. You deserve your success.
No one deserves this kind of success.
Director Nick Hurran, thank you very much for joining Business Weekend.
Good to talk to you, Stephanie. Happy to be here.
This series, Devils, that you've directed is, of course, based on the novel by Guido Maria Brera. Tell me about what you took away from the novel.
When I first read Guido Brera's translation, the novel was initially only written in Italian, so I was sent a document with a sort of outline. I was instantly kind of fascinated by his take on the unraveling of the financial chaos of 2008, 2009 that we all lived through and were aware of, but like many people, I wasn't really aware of the detail of what had happened. It is an opinion, as I say, it's Guido Brera's opinion of what went on during that period. But when I finished reading it, I was just kind of angry because I hadn't paid attention at the time. So I was really keen that it was a story I'd love to tell, and I'd love to tell in a way that was as truthful as possible to his opinion.
There's a lot of themes in this: the high-stakes world of trading, the relationship between money and power, corruption. Where do you get your inspiration from?
The inspiration comes from Guido's experiences. He was and is a very successful financial trader. And so he was writing from the heart in his experiences of the manipulations. And of course, any TV show, you have to have good human stories alongside it: deceit and betrayal and love, and weaving those two elements together to take an audience into the financial world and want to spend an hour with us every week was a terrific and exciting challenge to get it to a place that you hopefully really wanted to watch.
Nick, is there a message in this series, do you think?
I think hopefully, with no spoilers, there's a message is you never know who the bad guy is. You think you know, but maybe the bad guy isn't as bad as the thing you don't know about.
I don't know what's going on in your mind, but I'm not the enemy.
There may be something worse lurking, which is certainly what I took from the journey, is just when you think you know who to root for, something twists and you go, oh, maybe that isn't, maybe that's not a bad guy. And then there's someone worse.
One thing that I took away from it is that it's showcasing the European perspective of the GFC, something that, at least here in Australia, we don't really get to see a lot of.
Yeah, it's very much a European bias. It was written by an Italian man who was working in London. So it was set in Canary Wharf, in a fictitious bank, one of the big banks in Canary Wharf, with American backing, working in the big European markets. So I kind of was lucky enough to visit Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. All these amazing institutions were very kind. We did lots of research and really tried to make the detail of it as real as we could. The scale of those banks is quite enormous, so it's very difficult to give the scale of a trading floor that is in reality. We had the very unusual situation that because it was a project written in Italian to start with and picked up through Sky Italia and sort of developed through Italy, we actually shot almost all of it in Italy, not in London. So it was quite a backwards challenge to find what would work in Italy to look like London. The traders in London all knew the book. Most of them know Guido Brera, the author of the book, and speak very fondly of him and were very open and helpful, which I was amazed because some of it doesn't always show the big financial world in the best light. But it's as I say, hopefully a truthful account of the way that part of the city works.
Finally, you must know about the recent Robin Hood-style Reddit investors taking on the market. Do you think they could be inspired by a series like Devils?
I don't think the Robin Hood scandal was inspired by Devils. It's such an extraordinary awakening, and it's an amazing level of thought. We hadn't even gone there. We hadn't even gone to that place. We're thinking about it now. So season 2, season 3 may be more being inspired by them rather than the other way around.
Nick Hurran, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it.